it was a tough, gritty win out there. Really proud of our group to overcome a lot of injuries. This is a really quality football team, a playoff caliber team in the Chicago Bears, and it's always tough when you go into somebody else's home, division rival, and it wasn't pretty early, and that's a credit to the Bears. I mean, that is a good football team. It was the best defense we've seen, and we had to grind it out, and luckily our defense kept us in it early on, and just more than anything, just really proud of our guys for stepping into some situations where, as you prepare throughout the week, you always tell the guys you got to have a starter's mentality, but until that happens, I think it's a credit to those players of putting in the work each and every week to step in and come through for us in a big time game.
Yeah, what happened to Josh Myers and how bad is it?
I don't think it's going to be a season ender, but we'll continue to look at it. Certainly, that was ultimately that was a bad play call by me for us not blocking the nickel off the edge, and that's what caused that. So I feel bad about that.
What can you say though about the play of the offensive line? I mean, you keep talking about how great Steno's doing, but it seems like you could put anybody in there and they'd play well.
Yeah, those guys do a hell of a job. Steno, Buckus. It's a credit to our players as well. Lucas Patrick being able to go in there and against I think one of the best fronts in football. I mean, that front, it doesn't matter who's in there for them. They are ferocious. They come off the edge. They come up the middle. It's a fast defense. They're very physical. It is a legit defense.
For it to be that kind of defensive front and to get the type of production from your two running backs today that you did, it's been a few weeks now. Do you feel like that's kind of at the center of the core what this identity is for your offense going forward, but with those two guys deeply especially?
Yeah, we have to get both those guys involved. There's no doubt about it, whether it's in the running game or the pass game. I think early on we tried a lot of more outside zone, and that wasn't working too well. And then we started to go a little bit more downhill, and we seemed to have a little bit more success with that. And so we kind of shifted, I'd say, mid-game. But that's a credit to that defense. I mean, that defense is one of the top in the National Football League, and it's tough to run against. It's tough to throw against. You cannot be behind the sticks and have success, as you guys saw. I mean, there were some third and longs, and the pocket got engulfed like on the snap. So we just got to do a little bit better job of staying in front of the sticks and making sure we're not in those third and long situations against a defense like that.
22-5. If anybody can tell a opponent, I own you, Rodgers would probably have that right, would you say?
Yeah, Jason kind of briefed me on that earlier. Listen, all I can say is a lot of stuff gets said on the field that nobody ever hears, and it's one of those moments of competition where things get said, and I don't know what Aaron said about it, but I'm sure you guys asked him. But there's a lot of stuff that gets said on that football field, and again, it's a competitive game, and I think that's just one of those moments where you see the competitor in Aaron come out.
How much of a luxury is it? Fields around today. I mean, he got away, but he got him too.
Yeah, it was. I have to go back and look at it because I was kind of for much of the game just trying to rack my brain on trying to figure out how to get a first down. But yeah, no, he's an elusive guy, man, and it's never easy too when you lose a guy like Preston Smith. That's a tough guy to replace, and we're already without Z. And but I was really proud of the other guys stepping up, coming to play. Kenny Clark showed up big time on multiple occasions. When he was down, I really thought I was going to throw up, but he all those guys. It's a credit to our defensive staff getting those guys ready to play, but also all those players stepping in and being able to perform.
much of a luxury is it for you to have two running backs that can just break loose in different ways? Aaron Jones on his touchdown catch looked like he was dead to rights the moment he caught it, and A.J. Dillon, of course, can break the tackles the way he does.
Yeah, I was feeling really good about that play call until I saw a lot of people around him. And, sometimes great players make you look like a good coach. So it's a credit to all those guys. But, yeah, absolutely, the versatility that both of those guys have, not only in the run game, but in the pass game, and what they bring to this team is really special. And they complement each other so well. And so, and I think we have another great one in Kylan Hill. And I keep telling Kylan, I'm like, hey, you'll get an opportunity. I don't know when it's going to come, but it's always tough when you have two really good backs right in front of you.
All those positive things to say about Aaron Jones today. Did it scare the what out of you when you saw him dive across the goal line at the end of that? What was going through your mind when you saw that?
Well, I saw Robert Quinn come out of nowhere, and you see that on the tape. I mean, that guy, he pours it out on every play, and he might be behind the play, but he gives unbelievable effort. It's such a teachable moment for everybody. I know he came over to me right after he scored and apologized, and I believe him when he says, "Hey, that won't happen again." So, it's a good teachable moment for our whole football team.
Matt, you joked about your reaction to Kenny's injury, but are you getting to the point where these keep piling up that you're like, what's next, and how can we keep surviving this?
Yeah, you got to have that next man mentality, next man up mentality, and I think our guys do that, and they take a lot of pride in what they do, and they put the work in each and every week, and our coaches are working hard to get everybody prepared. So it's a great team effort by everybody.
You mentioned Justin Fields' elusiveness. How important was it to rush the pocket and contain him inside, and how do you feel like your defense did contain him inside the pocket?
Yeah, there was on multiple occasions I felt like we had a pretty good push in the pocket. There was a couple where, when that happens, he's still elusive and can break contain. You're just hoping that when he does that one of their guys is holding, because that's typically when most holding penalties occur. And I think there was a big one late in the game, certainly. But I thought our guys, man, it's a credit to those guys just playing hard each and every play.
Was that a play that Aaron should have an opportunity to run the touchdown? Or is that a play where you were surprised that he was able to get out there?
Well, they did a nice job defending the pass play. So we got up there, we got up to the line pretty quick. And typically, most teams defend the flats, and that's exactly what they did. And they dropped, I want to say, I think Robert Quinn dropped into coverage, and at least if you're going to do that, hopefully you get their best pass rushers dropping instead of rushing the passer, and I think that's kind of what allowed him to have the time. And our guys up front, I mean, they battled to the whistle, and so it's a credit to really everybody just continuing to play the play.
This
You
is
have an update
your
on
third
this?
year now. What have you learned about this rivalry with the Bears and how much it means?
I think it just goes to show, you can feel the intensity out there. With a lot of that comes from the crowd, the fans, but I think more than anything else, it's a divisional game, and these games are so meaningful because if you can come out with a win, you're obviously adding a loss to a division opponent, and that's a full game. So every division game is extremely important.
Do you have an update on Preston Smith?
No update on Preston.
I know you weren't focused on Justin Fields, but as a quarterback guy, was there anything that he did that made an impression on you as far as an indicator of future success?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I thought he made a lot of great throws in the game. I got to go back and watch the tape, but it just seemed like there were some timely throws. And then anytime you have to defend the off schedule, that always it's hard to coach against that. And he is capable of doing that on each and every play. So that's something that it's just tough to defend.
Why do you think Aaron Rodgers is so successful against the Bears?
Well, I think it's a total team effort. Certainly, he's the driving force on offense. He's the guy that that leads us. He's a great leader of this football team, and it's a credit to every man in that locker room. But I don't think it's just. We always say football is the ultimate team sport. It takes all 11, and I think that's true each and every Sunday.
His record against him kind of speaks for itself over the years. I know you haven't been here as long as Aaron Rodgers has, but he feels like he's playing a home game when he's here at Soldier Field.
Yeah, you're gonna have to ask Aaron about that. I don't have much to say about that other than I know how hard it is to come into this stadium and have success, especially with how loud that crowd is. You hear that siren going off all game. That drives me nuts. So no, it's a really tough football team against in just a tough environment.
Matt,
Fox Street.
one of the big sparks on that last touchdown drive was the 41-yard shot that Aaron hit to Devontae. What was your sense of what allowed that to come open and why it clicked the way it did?
Yeah, that was a great call by him. I actually called the quick game version of that, and he checked it to the double move, and just great job by those guys, and he recognized the look and thought we could get it, so that's what he did, and like I said, it's nice to have big time players that can make it look pretty good.
You mentioned next man up.
To Jones, the pass, was Zard and Adams covering the back, and it seemed like Aaron had time that time, and actually his patience had helped open up that left-hand side for Jones to take advantage of it. It's got to help when you can have a guy that can pass protection to be a positive target.
Yeah, that was actually a screen pass to him. Yeah, so we did it off some action, trying to give the illusion that it was, a keeper, a bootleg, or whatnot. And anytime you got number 17 out there, I mean, he's going to attract a lot of attention. So he was on the left side. We had all three receivers on that left side. But yeah, so it didn't look great because all I'm doing is I'm kind of watching. I know where the point of attack's going to go, and it looked like it got bottled up. But Aaron Jones was able to kind of find his way out of it. But yeah, that was a screen pass.
You mentioned next man up, but you've been a lot of places. How rare is it for a team to endure the type of injuries you have had to do and still be able to win each week? That doesn't happen every year, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't make it easier, that's for sure. But that's a great credit to Goody and our scouting department of getting great players in here and their ability to get ready each and every week. And you always, like I said earlier, you always try to approach it with a starter mindset, but sometimes that is a little coach speak in terms of you just are never quite sure what you're going to get. I mean, throughout the course of a week in practice, there's very limited reps. So a lot of the guys, they might not get any reps, and they have to get their reps on scout team. So it's difficult to put yourself in a starter role, especially early in the game. That's why it's so impressive when a guy like Lucas Patrick can go in there and do what he does all game long. So again, it's just a credit to everybody, our coaches, our players, for having that mentality.
How many reps would Lucas have gotten in a typical week like this?
Excuse me?
How many reps would Lucas have gotten in a week like this?
Well, our guys do a really good job of rotating them through. But as far as with the ones, I mean, it's a handful. It's very limited.
Five straight
Bakhtiari.
wins. And with all the injuries you guys have had, what does that do for the confidence of the team?
Yeah, I think it brings a lot of confidence, especially the season didn't start out on a very good note, and be able to grind out a lot of these wins. I mean, they've been very, very difficult, but I think it's just the mindset that we have of truly taking it one day, one game at a time, and not worrying about what you've done in your past, and always trying to look at what you have to do to move forward and improve upon, because by no means do I believe that we're a finished product. I think there's a lot for all of us, myself more than anybody, to continue to work and improve upon, and I think that there's just a lot of growth left for this football team.